Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming live at you again for another Film Fanatic show. So it's 11:25 on a Saturday morning, November 29th. 2 more days till December, the start of the Christmas season, and then winter is right around the corner, transitioning from the fall to the winter. So, yeah, hope everyone's doing good. I want to thank some of the new subscribers that have joined, hopped on this crazy train called Film Fanatic recently, and then there's been a lot of people commenting on the videos lately, which has been really awesome. Again, I've always said this, I've said this a million times, but to me, that's really what it's all about. Just sharing my my love and passion for films with other people. So and then getting in contact and realizing that there's a lot of other film fanatics out there in this wacky world. So it's pretty cool. So I had a pretty interesting night last night. So yesterday, um, it was it was pretty hilarious. Let's start off. Well, it was actually a really good day yesterday, which was Saturday. So yesterday was Saturday, and so I was kind of doing my thing yesterday morning. Had my coffee, did some video stuff here for the channel, and then eventually got some practicing in. But like late afternoon, or I should say late morning, it was pretty much around noon or so. One of my good buddies, who I go to the movies a lot with, sent me had texted me about going to see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair, which it's something I've been, well, actually, in all actuality, it's something I've been dreaming about for a while. I had heard about 2 months, well, probably like 3 months ago now, that Quentin Tarantino was going to be basically re-releasing the Kill Bill films, Kill Bill, both films, back to back, and that there were going to be a bunch of additional scenes. It was going to be re-edited and recut, and it was going to be shown. The whole thing was going to be shown as one big movie, and it was going to be entitled "The Whole Bloody Affair." So I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I am definitely going to go see it." I mean, arguably the Kill Bill movies are probably. I'm a big Tarantino fan, but I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's probably his like greatest achievement. So I was through the roof excited, but I did not think that this movie or this whole crazy thing would be coming to Maine. And I had heard that when I first heard about this crazy happening with both of these movies being shown together with new scenes and basically recut and remastered, I didn't think it was going to be coming to Maine. And I saw originally when I'd heard about this, the news of this, I had read a little, I'd read a couple articles about it. That's how I heard about it. I didn't think it was going to be initially coming out in December, and it was going to be playing in like really select theaters. But I was like, oh hell yeah! If this comes anywhere near where I live, gotta go see it. So I I remember when I first saw Kill Bill, the first chapter, more or less, in this amazing feat that Tarantino pulled off. I saw Kill Bill twice in the theater, and I also saw Kill Bill 2 twice in the theater. And then I rented it. I had seen it probably I'd seen both movies probably 2 or 3 times afterwards, like on DVD. And then about a few years ago, I picked up Kill Bill, the first one, on Blu-ray, and I was super excited. I got it at Bull Moose. It was super cheap. I had never seen it on Blu-ray before. It was something I wanted to get, and it was really the only time that I bought a movie or Blu-ray from Bull Moose. And again, Bull Moose really they have a lot of new releases, new movies, new games, new albums, new records. But they're a big thing with Bull Moose is they sell a lot of used stuff. So a lot of things are marked down. And again, it's my home away from home. But when I bought Kill Bill, the Blu-ray was defective. It like got maybe an hour or 20, like an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, and it stopped playing. It was all fucked up, and I couldn't figure it out, and it was defective. And then so I was pretty bummed about that. And I haven't seen it since then. So it's been a few years. I never thought about bringing it back, and then a couple of years went by, and blah blah blah. I have Kill Bill 2, the second one. I have that on DVD, and I haven't seen that. It's been even a longer amount of time since I've seen that. So yesterday morning, late morning, my really good friend Zafra sent me this text saying Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, was going to be playing at this brand new theater in Waterville, the main film center, which is this big, huge kind of art project that Colby College, which is the major college in Waterville, put I guess millions of dollars into building this beautiful art center. I had never been to it. I know of a few people that go there. My friend Zafar, who I went with to the movies last night, he's a member. He's been there a bunch of other times, and I know a handful of other people that have been there for movies, and I had not been there, so I was really excited, and I saw that they were going to show this entire thing, and I was just like, hell yeah, when and where? So automatically, I didn't have yesterday, which was Friday. I didn't have any plans. It was the day after Thanksgiving, and I was just gonna kind of chill out or whatever. So I didn't have any plans, and I was just like, oh hell yeah! And then so it was showing at 1 o'clock, and then it was going to be showing at 6 o'clock. So I was super super psyched, and like really really excited. And so then I went about my day. We made a plan to go see it. So I went. We made a plan to. I was going to go to his house, Zafra's house, who lives in Belfast, and then we were going to go up to Waterville after that. And Waterville is about just under. It's like 50 minutes away. It's not too far. Not too far. I mean, not too. It's not a huge trek to go to the movies. I go to Waterville fairly often anyway because of Bull Moose being right there. So, and I was gonna meet him at about 3:45, and then we were gonna go up to Waterville and go grab some food. There's a really, really good Indian restaurant right across the street from the movie theater. So we went up, got up there plenty of time, got we got fed. We got our food really quick. Food was awesome, and the theater was like directly across. And Waterville has like gone through so many massive changes lately. Like it used to be kind of a dumpy little area, but Colby College, the same school that built this beautiful theater and art kind of complex, just put a huge amount of money into the downtown. And there's hotels there. There's a bunch of restaurants, and it's pretty happening. It's got this real kind of modern modern look to it as well. Totally different than what it was like. I mean, from my memory, my memories of Waterville, or my experience with Waterville in the past was, I used to be in this rock band, the 220s, and we used to play down in Waterville quite a bit at this club called Mainly Brews, which is a a really cool spot. And we used to play there quite a bit and had a lot of fun gigs there. But other than that, there was like nothing really going on. It was even before I had discovered Bull Moose there too. So this was going back quite a few years. But Waterville was just kind of, I don't know, kind of a dumpy little town. Other than, they had a pizza place that was open late, but there wasn't much going on. And in the last, 5 to 6 years or so, it's totally transformed. And about four years ago, I discovered a Bull Moose location there. So I would go down to Waterville, which I still do, to go to the Bull Moose there, which is really, really awesome. So anyway, we got our food. It was great. And then we got done eating at about, the movie was going to, the Kill Bill movies were going to, the showtime was at 6. So we got done eating and we walked over and walked right across the street. And there was no, the restaurant that we went to wasn't very busy, so we got really good service. And then when we went over to the movie theater, there was barely anybody there. So we walked in, and we were the only people in the lobby. So we went to go to get our tickets, and and then Zafar was in front of me, and he's like, 2 tickets for the whole bloody affair. And the guy who was selling the tickets said, "Oh no, that's not tonight." And I was just like, I thought I was hearing things. I was just like, "What?" He's like, "No, actually, it starts next week." December 5th. And at that point, time slowed down, and I was just like, no! We were just like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my god, fuck me. Like, because I was so fucking excited to see this movie. And I was just like, oh my god. And we realized we totally fucked up and fucked up the time. And either of us actually looked at the date for when this movie was going to be showing. And then we looked at it, and we're both standing in the lobby, and we're just like, oh my god, what the fuck? And we're like, no, wait, it's not opening until Friday next week, because the 1st of December is this coming Monday. And we were just like, oh my god, how did we both miss this? So we were just like, oh my god, like, and the guy who was selling the tickets could tell that we were like super bummed out, and he's like, sorry guys, yeah, it's not playing till next week. And I was just like, oh my fucking god. And then we were like trying to process that, and then we're like, so what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna go see? And we were just standing there, just like kind of hopeless. So we sat there and tried to process that we were going to see this movies. And so we were like, okay, what do we do? And I looked up, and I looked at the marquee, and I realized, because the theater, this facility is just absolutely beautiful, but it only has 3 theaters in it. So I looked at the marquee, and I realized, oh wait, there's the new Knives Out film is out, and I heard that this was really good. I had a buddy of mine, my good friend Sean Russell, who got to, I believe, see an advanced screening of it, and he said it was really good. Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, the new Knives Out film, is the 3rd in the franchise, and I saw that that was playing there, and it was going to be playing at 7 o'clock. And at this time, when we were in the theater, trying to get the tickets for the Kill Bill Bonanza, it was 6 o'clock, so we had a whole hour. So we're like, okay, Zoff returned to me. He's like, so what do you want to do? Like, what do we do now? So I was like, well, what about going to see the new Knives Out movie? It's playing here. It's playing in an hour. Why don't we do that? So we're like, okay, fuck it. Let's do that. And then he was super bummed out. I was bummed out. And he was bummed out because he felt like he really fucked up. And, but I was like, no, it was something we both overlooked. Like, It's nobody's fault. It was just, I didn't even think of looking at the date and the time, like, so, and it's not his fault. So I was like, no, don't worry about it. It's cool. And so we decided to we had a whole hour, so we decided to go out for a beer or two and then come back for the 7 o'clock show of the new Knives Out film. So we went out to this really cool bar after that, and tried to lighten the mood. And we went to Kushnik Brewing, which is a really cool restaurant brew pub there. It's like a little taco. It's actually a pretty big place, but it's right it was like a half a block away from the movie theater. So we're like, fuck it. So we went there and had some beers and just kind of chilled out and had a good time. It was a really cool bar. And then it was getting close to about 7 o'clock, and we're like, okay, let's do it. So we decided to walk back to the theater and go see this new Knives Out film. So we get to the theater, and the guy, and again, there were definitely more people there. There was like a lot of people all of a sudden in the lobby and throughout this building. And we get to the theater. I mean, we get to go and to get our tickets, and the same guy was there who was selling the tickets, and he remembered us. And he's like, we go up and we go, up to pay him. We're gonna, we asked for tickets, 2 tickets for the new Knives Out film, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's on me. And we're just like, wait, what? He's like, no, I got you guys. I covered for you guys. And I thought like I was hearing things, and this guy was so freaking nice, so awesome. He totally understood like kind of the pain and anguish we were in for a few minutes. And he's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Tickets are on me. And I couldn't believe it. And he comped both of our tickets to see the new Knives Out film. And I couldn't believe it. It was like, he got old Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life on our ass. And I was just like, what? It was super cool. So then after that, we're like, wow, I can't believe this guy did that. It was super nice. And then so we decided to walk up to the theater, and this whole center is absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. It's got an art gallery in it. There's 3 theaters. It's all brand new. It's very modern. Beautiful staircase. Yeah, it's big giant ceilings. Big all these big rooms. There's like there's a fairly good sized theater, and then there's a mid sized theater, and then there's a really tiny little theater. And the new Knives Out film was playing in the bigger of the theaters, because I believe it came out on Thanksgiving Eve, and I didn't really hear much about this movie. I knew it was coming out, and my good friend Sean had got to see it, went to an advanced screening, and said it was really good. So I was getting excited, because the second one was okay. There's a Glass Onion. I was kind of disappointed with that, but I love the first one, Knives Out, the original film. I just think that movie is just awesome. So I was getting excited, and I was really, really impressed by this whole beautiful facility. It was my first time in it. The seats were really comfortable, and the whole layout was just really, really impressive. And again, I loved how it just had this really cool kind of modern feel to it. So it was a very different, very different than many other theaters I've gone to. Now typically, with the big franchise theaters, like Flagship or Regal Cinema, they have, or at least Flagship does, they have the heated seats and the electric seats, and they can fully recline, which is pretty sweet. But this was not that, but the seats were just super, super comfortable. It was kind of like the old school theater, the way theaters used to be, but the seats were way more comfortable. These ones were. Beautiful screen, real nice, kind of modern theater. I like that it was kind of small. I don't know, maybe, hard to say, maybe it would hold like 80 people or so. I can't remember the exact number. So we ended up seeing Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, which is the third movie in this whole franchise. What a cast! I mean, of course, Daniel Craig returns to this movie, to this franchise. Really, really great cast. Really, really great cast. Khalif Spani, Andrew Scott, who is just an unbelievable actor. I think this guy has got to be. I've seen him in so many different kinds of things, different movies, TV shows. I think he's. I don't know. I think he's kind of like the greatest actor ever on the planet right now. Mila Kunis, Kunis, who was in the original, returns to this film. I haven't seen her in a long time. Jeremy Rayner, also a new addition. Thomas Hayden Church. Glenn Close was in this film. Josh Brolin, which I did not know he was in this film. Daniel McCormick, really great. Josh O'Connor, kind of a familiar face, but I hadn't really seen him in anything. And Kerry Washington and Annie Hamilton. And it was again the third. This is the third film in this franchise, the Knives Out franchise, and it was directed again by Ryan Johnson. And I have to say, I thought this movie was awesome. I thought it was really great. I thought it really reminded me of kind of the tight and really strong structure of the first one. I thought it was really great. I was really into it, and I thought I had kind of the same feeling of watching this movie, kind of like when I first saw the first Knives Out, where it was like this feeling of a new kind of but classic experience. Where there weren't too many films that have been out in so many years where it's kind of return to form to like this classic kind of Agatha Christie story, murder mystery, like a murder, just like a really finely tuned murder mystery story, and that has good, really good intrigue, good suspense, but then great characterization, beautifully shot, and has a lot of great, kind of to a degree pop references, but then has a lot of great humor. This movie had all of it. I was totally impressed. It's a little bit long. It's almost 2.5 hours, but it's a really good classic crime caper, and it really reminded me a lot of the first one. Really, really good. Really good. Really good. The cast is phenomenal in this movie. Really great chemistry. It was wonderful to see Glenn Close again. I haven't seen her in any films in newer films in years, and she was fantastic in it. But the whole cast was uh, just just awesome, perfection, really. And by this point, I mean this is the third film in this kind of whole franchise. That's one of the things that really kind of launched it with the first one, with just being where you get to see this amazing cast of different actors, and you see them in this very different light, and they just have this really awesome big screen chemistry. And I like the Glass Onion, which was the second one. I thought that movie was okay, but I thought it was kind of disappointing. I thought it got a little bit convoluted, and it didn't really. All the dots were not really connecting. It was kind of went off the trails, went off the rails a little bit, like story wise, or as far as the narrative. And one of the strengths of the biggest strength I thought of the first one, and this one as well, is that it's just really so well constructed, the story, and it has this really cool pacing and a really great build. Where it starts really getting into that, brings you into that classic murder mystery, Agatha Christie world. And that was, I get like this feeling of nostalgia too, because that classic genre, really hasn't been explored. I mean, mostly, I mean, you do see it in British television still, and movies and television, different series. That's still that that murder mystery genre that still is still very popular, but you still see it explored and also put in a very contemporary light. But as far as American directors and in America, in American cinema, like you haven't really seen that in many years, and I've always loved that genre. And it wasn't until really Knives Out that it was like this, just something really fresh, and it takes those classic tropes of those those classic murder mystery stories, the Agatha Christie stories, and does something new. Puts Ryan Johnson does such a great job with taking this kind of old style of storytelling, but putting it in a very kind of modern context. And I thought this new one was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great crime caper. It had a lot of great humor. It was really funny, especially the first couple acts, and then it goes way more into like a very suspenseful world. Really great. And I did not. The big plot reveal of who and how these murders happened was really great. I didn't really predict it. I didn't see it coming. From a technical standpoint, I mean, this movie's really well directed. Ryan Johnson's a really, when he's on, he's on. He's a really good, he's a fantastic director. The writing for this film is pitch perfect. I thought all the characterization. I mean, because you have so many characters, and in a lot of ways you have this huge ensemble, cast, and it's basically people talking the entire time. It's not necessarily action driven, or there's not loads of CGI. That, I mean, why would there be? But it's all, the whole thing is purely in the world of where it's all character driven, and it's done really well, like kind of masterfully well, like just really well conceived. And all of these characters, all of these great actors, all have just a great chemistry. And it's even, well, I should say, especially from a technical side, the movie is shot it's beautiful to look at. There is some amazing shots. Some of the cinematography is just incredible. Really cool music. The score was great. The whole tone, the tonal shifts of the film, where it gets where it's kind of more lighthearted in the beginning and funny, and then it does get more suspenseful, and it has moments of where it does get a little bit dark. Really great, beautifully shot. I mean, just like a kind of a masterclass on how cinematography it can be so powerful, and the lighting was really great. Yeah, from a technical standpoint, I mean, just such a great, such a great film, but really great. I highly recommend it. I pretty much, I pretty much went into this movie totally cold. I haven't seen or looked up any reviews for this movie whatsoever, which I'm glad. I'm glad I went into it cold. I had only heard about this movie through my friend Sean, who got to see it early. So, and he said it was really good. So I was like, I trust his judgment. And I didn't even really know when and where it was coming out. So I was like, oh wait. Once we realized what had happened, we're like, oh, okay. I thought maybe we'll go to another movie theater, but then I was like, well, Knives Out's playing. The new Knives Out is playing right here. Maybe, and it worked out, and it was great. But beautiful facility, and so what we're gonna do. So I highly recommend this movie. It's really good. It's a really good. It's a great movie to strap in and just sit with it and just really enjoy it. But outside of that, the plan is for next Saturday, a week from today, is that we're going to go see the whole darn thing, the Kill Bill films. Fingers crossed. Because this show right now originally was going to be a review for that, but obviously that didn't happen. But still got to see a really really great film. So, and that was really awesome that we got free tickets. I couldn't believe it because you know I don't know, the tickets are like $15 each, so that was like that's a lot of money and super awesome. And the guy was super cool, and we're like after we're leaving the theater, we're like we're okay, we're definitely going to come back anyway to support this place and support this theater. So super cool movie. I highly recommend it. It's it's really really good. It's one of the best in one of the best in the series. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Peace.